Hi everyone, my name is Hayley Morrison, your host for Let's Talk Out Loud, the Health Kick series.
I'm getting down with a good life. Getting down with a good life.
So in this episode, I spoke to the lovely Amanda from Spiritual Flamingo. We were just going to have just a general chat, and we thought, let's just record this session and we can kind of pop it on the podcast, which was the plan. Amanda was absolutely lovely, really easy to talk to. She is a holistic therapist and sound healer. She uses Reiki and obviously sound healing to help people to, I guess, help to tune into themselves to release trapped emotions. And she started this because it was something that helped her in a difficult time in her life, and now she kind of wants to give it back to other people. So it was lovely, lovely talking to Amanda. If you obviously don't know what Reiki is, have a watch of the episode. And of course, reach out to Amanda if you're interested. She's got lots of things going on at the minute. She's based in Howdon area, and you can go along. She's got an open session coming very, very soon where you can go see exactly what it is, how it works, and then obviously book your session. So enjoy. Hi everyone, I'm really excited to have Amanda on from Spiritual Flamingo. She is a holistic therapist and sound healer, and we've just had a little bit of a chat there, and she's going to kind of share what it is she does, how it helps people, and obviously if you're interested in having one of the therapies from Amanda, obviously she can share how we can get in touch, and of course I'll put all of the links in the description as well anyway. So I'm just going to go straight over to you and say what
Okay.
you do.
Hi, yes, my name's Amanda, and I have a small business called Spiritual Flamingo. I am based in Howdon, Wallsend, and I rent a room inside a lovely salon called Sublime Health and Aesthetics. And as Hayley said, I am a sound healer and holistic therapist offering treatments individual to the community and in groups as well.
That sounds amazing. And we've just said before, we're probably both from, a lot of people think, what even is Reiki, and how the hell does it work? So I don't know if you want to touch on what Reiki is first before the sound thing.
So a lot of people don't know what Reiki is, don't know how powerful it is, how amazing it is. Some people don't know how to pronounce it, and that's absolutely fine. But Reiki is energy, and it's healing energy that comes from above. So it's not me that would be healing anybody, but I channel it from the universe to the person that's receiving it. And the best way I would say to think what Reiki is it gives you the time that you need, even if it's half an hour or an hour, that you need for your own self-care to be still in the present moment, rest and relax. And if you've got a lot of things going on, whether it be in your mind or in your life or anything that you're working on, any situations, you receiving that energy can help you move forward in your life in many different ways. Obviously, I'm not a miracle worker, and it all comes down to the person themselves that's receiving the healing on how you move forward. And obviously, I would never say don't go to a doctor. If you are poorly, you would go to a doctor, like if that's what you want to do. But my part is all more about mindfulness and taking that time out for yourself, and working on yourself by meditating, receiving healing to get yourself in a better position or more focused, or give you the passion or the desire to do something else, or to in turn feel better if you have got a condition, which is the way that it helped me. If you get diagnosed with a condition, Reiki healing helped me immensely. It changed my life. Yeah, so important.
And are you all right to share, because I know you've told me already, but your story?
Yeah. So in lockdown in 2020, where we were all in our homes. All of we weren't probably in a good, in a potentially in a good place. Because it was difficult. We're human beings. We like to be out and about. Some of we like to be very sociable, some more sociable than others. But for myself, out of the blue, in July 2020, I had a seizure. And I got up in the morning to go to work, because at the time I was working in a financial company dealing with wills and mortgages and things like that. And if you think at the time, a lot of people were wanting wills. So we were
Yeah.
quite busy because it was a time of a lot of worry. Um, and just as normal, I got out of bed and I walked into the bathroom, and I don't remember anything um other than waking up back in bed on my bed, and there was two ambulance workers just standing in my bedroom, and I didn't know why they were there. Um, and I said to me, I seen my husband, and thankfully I recognised him. Because sometimes when you have seizures, you don't remember people around when he first come round, which I didn't, but I can't remember that because I was still
Yeah.
out of it. But when I had come back round, my husband, he said, I don't know what's happened. We don't know if you've had a stroke or if you've had a seizure, but you seem okay, but they're going to have to take you to hospital and do some tests to find out what's wrong. Why is it happened? And he was like, you've hit your head, so either way, you need to
Mm.
get checked out. Because of the time and what was going on in the world, I had to go by myself.
Oh, bless.
So I had to go in the ambulance by myself. Don't get me wrong, all of the staff were absolutely amazing. From the ambulance workers to the staff at the hospital, they were absolutely amazing. Because I was scared, I was vulnerable, didn't know what was happening. Yeah, so that's basically how my life just turned and changed full circle in one day.
Mhm.
Um, I was frightened to leave the house. Um, I would have moments of where I didn't know what was happening or what I was doing, and I would freeze, and it was all really scary. There was times that I forgot who, when I've come round from a seizure, I didn't know who my son was. And that would have been really hard for my son, because I think he would have been about 10 at the time, I think, 10, 11 at the time. Um, but through that, my friend, New Earth Wellness is called, Erica's her name, and she's actually from Wallsend, but she lives in Torquay. We ended up getting back in touch. The universe obviously guided me to get back in touch because we lost touch. And she was a Reiki master. And I was like, what's that? And she started sending Reiki to me over Zoom. And I was like, is this going to work? Like, I know what Reiki was. And I thought, I don't know if it's going to help, but I'll give anything a shot because I'm scared to leave the house. I'm frightened in case I'm going to have a seizure, especially in public. I had to check in with everybody before I went anywhere. It was like being a 13-year-old
Yeah,
again, like a
actually.
teenager, and it was awful. And she showed me how to meditate more effectively. And from that moment, something just clicked. And the the Reiki helped me get more confident about where I was going and what I was doing. Um, and if anything, accept the situation, because I'd lost, I think it's probably a bit longer, but I'd lost about 6 months to a year of memory from before the
Mhm.
first seizure happened. And I still suffer a little bit now with memory loss.
Yeah.
Um, and it is really difficult. But what I've got to realize is that my brain's not the same, and I've got to work with what I've got now. Um, and if anything, it's been an advantage because I've slowed down. I'm not 100% 100 mile an hour all of the time. And I actually noticed my friend, because they say you should receive Reiki about every 4 to 6 weeks.
Mhm.
Um, and I noticed that I was smiling again in the mirror when I was brushing my hair, and just little things like
Yeah.
that. And like I would go on the metro and still feel a bit uncomfortable, but knowing that my husband knew where I was going, and I would let him know when I'd got to where I was going. So because I was eventually started to go off by myself again, which I was so scared. Had my driving license back in, which took us 7 times to pass
Oh, do it.
when I was younger, yeah. So I had my driving license back
Oh.
in. So it was massive. It was absolutely a massive change. But had I not received Reiki or gone meditating as regular, don't I don't know where I would be. I think I would probably be stuck in the house,
Hmm.
frightened to leave. And don't get us wrong, it hasn't been easy. It's been really, really hard. And I've had more than one seizure, and all of them are equally as awful because it's not just the seizure, it's the aftermath of the the pains because I was having chronic seizures. So that's like the ones you see on films where you sort of freeze and then you shake. So like your whole body's in absolute agony afterwards. So there was the recovery from that, which the Reiki helped
Mhm.
when I was recovering from a seizure too. And it was just unreal. And I got to a point where I thought, I actually feel really good. And I don't know how. And then I realized
Mhm.
I was thinking about myself differently. I was being more positive. I wasn't being negative. I was just doing everything that I possibly could. And I thought, I need to tell people about this. More people need to know. And that's when I decided to get me attunement to become a Reiki practitioner. And
Mhm.
then everything sort of snowballed from there, to where I am today with my own little business and probably most confident than I've ever been in all of my life because I probably was a little bit of a people pleaser, just used to go with the flow. And now if I want to rest, I just rest and I say no,
Yeah.
like to invites and things like that because my body needs it. Um, and I just listen to my body more and just follow where I feel more comfortable to go to. Which these days is normally a sound bath or a nice walk. And don't get us
Yeah.
wrong, I like to have a nice catch up with my friends. Um, and definitely because spending time with your friends and making memories is so important, but I have to balance it out with like really good stuff that's nourishing for my body
Mhm.
and receive healing. And now I'm able to give that back to the community and I absolutely thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah. No, do you know what it is as well? You're saying like how now you're saying no, and it's like now you're kind of listening to your body, aren't you? Like
Got
you're in
to.
tune, so you're tapped into, I guess, that frequency, that energy, and now you can hear your body going no. Whereas I do
Yeah,
think a lot of we just get distracted with like life, don't we? Just
we
filling the
do.
time. I mean, I'm terrible for it half the time. But I think it's just I do follow my passions though. But I think a lot of people don't just stop. So
No, and if I not necessarily yourself, but a lot of my clients, I say to them, when was the last time you did something just for you? I went, it doesn't have to be anything massive, but when was the last time you sat and just done something for you? And they went, I've just had a treatment. And I was like, but when was the last time? And they don't know. So when I get a new client in, they go home with a little card and it's got 3 things for me in a little space to write. So
oh,
I'll always say you've done your first thing, you've had a treatment, whether it be Reiki or a massage or whatever the person wants. But I'll say try and do 2 more things today if you can that are just for you, even if it's to have a hot cup of tea, because I never get to have a hot cup of tea or a herbal tea or whatever your drink is that you
yeah.
prefer. It's always cold by the time I normally get round with, so I always make time now to make sure I have a nice hot
Mhm.
cup of tea, or time to read a book, even if it's just a chapter, because you need to take time out for yourself, because otherwise,
Mhm.
what happened to me is probably it literally stopped us in me tracks,
Mhm.
and I was 100 mile an hour before then, and now I know that that happened for a reason, to look after myself more and because if I don't look after myself, I can't look after my husband, my son, my friends, my family, and be there for them if I'm not looking after myself. So
Mhm.
yeah, it definitely made us think
Yeah.
very differently.
I know, and I think coming to somebody for Reiki like yourself, it means like if you're going to say, right, I'm going to do 10 minutes later on, I'm going to chill out, you don't do it. You say you're going to do it. Most people, not you now, but like most people will go, I'm going to chill out and I'm going to like put some music on and meditate, but then the thoughts kick in. And I guess having Reiki, you're kind of in someone else's company. So you
Yeah.
kind of just pick up your phone or change your mind or
No,
get
no,
distracted.
you
You've got no
can't.
choice but just to do what you're there
Just to
to do
chill.
and chill.
Just to chill. Um, and the Reiki effect lasts for up to 2 weeks after you've had, so after you've received it as well.
Hmm.
So your body is still processing whatever the guidance that your body needed or the healing that your body needed for up to 2 weeks after. Um, I meditate every day now, and I can't remember where I've seen it, but it the phrase said, if you don't have time to meditate for 5 to 10 minutes every day, then you should meditate for 45 minutes in theory, because
If you don't have
you,
time, you need
you
to make the
you
time.
have to, yeah, you have to
Yeah.
make the time because it works. So sometimes if I know if I've got a busy day, I'll meditate in the shower.
Hmm.
And what I do is I just imagine the water washing any negative energy or any nerves. If I've got something going on that day where I think, oh, I'm a bit something new that I'm trying, I'm a bit
Yeah.
unsure, I just imagine the water coming off my body and swirling around the bottom of the shower and
Hmm.
going into the plug hole. And any negative energy or any negative thoughts just disappearing away. And then I sometimes just say some positive affirmations, just to try and help me if because sometimes I'm only human. There is times that I feel a little bit can't be bothered today,
Yeah.
or I feel a little bit down because I'm so tired. But you just I've just either think more positively and say them affirmations so I reassure myself that I am okay, or I rest.
Yeah.
And if you've just got to listen to your body and just take
Mm.
the best step that you need.
Yeah. And before I was saying to you about like, I feel like I've got spiritual blocks, and one of them I know is because I don't listen to my body. I'm constantly, even though I deal with emotions and moods, and I'm very like susceptible to that people's energies, I deal with everything in my head. Do you know what I mean? As soon
Yes.
as I get a feeling arising, I put logic to it, and I need a box to put that away in there and that way there. And so it's definitely something I'm trying to do more. I have
Yeah.
had Reiki before and it was an amazing experience. But maybe I need to do it more. And when you're saying about like self-care, started doing like wellness Wednesdays. So every
Yeah.
Wednesday I was doing something for me. But then it started getting a bit expensive. Like I was doing
Yeah.
things where I was like going for massages, I went for a colonic, I went for skin rejuvenation, and I thought I'm sharing my journey, but not many people either can afford it or want to be like spending this amount of money like
No.
on themselves. And it's like, actually, do you know what you've just said before, like even just like chilling out, reading a book, I think you said, just having that little bit
Yeah.
of space to switch off,
Yeah.
doesn't have to cost money, does it?
No. And
Um,
then sometimes a nice little face mask and just take
yeah.
that time away. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's just looking after yourself because yeah, we've got to look after ourselves
Hmm.
to be able to function the best way that we can in our lives. Because if we don't, your body tells you,
Yeah.
and it stops you in your track, which is exactly what it did
Hmm.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that, I think that's like amazing. So I love stories like that, like the universe proof that it's like at the time you're going through a hard time.
it was awful. I cried every day.
Yeah. But in hindsight you go, oh, it was actually worth something, I guess. So does that
Yeah,
make you feel a bit like more grateful for you, even though it was such a hard, because it sounds like a horrendous
it was. It
experience.
was. It was awful. But actually, I'm more thankful for it now, and I understand in my head in a strange way why it happened. I never thought I was going to be able to learn anything again because I try to remember the stuff that I'd learned in my paraplan role, and it wasn't going in. And I worked for a small business at the time, and I'm letting I'm letting them down.
Hmm.
Like I can't do it anymore. So I had to hand me notice in. And I thought, am I ever going to work again?
Hmm.
Like, am I going to be able to retain the information in my head to be able to work effectively? Like, because I loved work. I loved getting up, loved going to work, loved making the customers happy, doing everything that I possibly could. Loved the working with other people and like bouncing ideas off each other and things like that. I just absolutely loved it. And then to think, oh man, it may not be able to do this again. Um, but I've got like a part-time job of working 2 days a week. And I couldn't have done any more than 2 days because that is a lot of screen time and I would get
Mhm.
bad heads and like visuals,
Mhm.
but like where I couldn't see very well and I'd be worried that it would cause a seizure. So I got a basic admin job for 2 days a week. Um, and it really helped us. But because admin is like quite repetitive, I think it helped nourish my brain back into working again, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I was doing me self-care as well, then started my business, and then I still had my employed role.
Mhm.
Um, but then I realized that I was actually getting really busy within Spiritual Flamingo. And my plan was to maybe look at leaving my employed job in December this year, actually.
Mhm.
Um, and it was just getting too much. I thought I can't say to my clients, you need to look after yourself if I know that I'm doing too much.
Mhm.
Um, so I am 1 year seizure free as of last month, which is amazing. Like I'm
Mhm.
totally, totally grateful. And I put my notice in me part-time admin job, and it was my last official working day yesterday. So I'm now out fully in the self-employed world.
Mhm. Which, like we were saying before, like is scary, but also like exciting. And isn't it mad to think that just that Reiki, like all of that thing you went through, and then that Reiki has just kind of snowballed you,
Yeah,
hasn't it, into that? I
yeah,
think maybe it's because you were at your wit's end and you were thinking nothing else is bloody like
yeah.
working, and you just submitted. Is that the right word to use? You
I
submit to
don't know.
the universe.
I just was like,
Not
just
submit.
help us. I'll follow
Acceptance.
you.
Anything.
Yeah, just accept it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, which I did. And I think because I've had the background and working environments that I have, like working in contact centres, working in councils, local authorities, I've worked in as solicitors and things like that. And I know these jobs are not easy.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you might get paid quite well. Yes, you might have some good benefits, and that's great. But you need to make sure you take that time out for yourself
Yeah.
because I didn't. Do you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And I like I know at the time there was a lot going on in the world and it wasn't very nice, but I was having funny, I call them funny moments now
Mm-hmm.
from 2 years previous to that. Um and I had gone to the doctors and said, look, something is happening, like I'm getting blanks and I don't know what they are. And that was happening for 2 years previous, but I didn't have an actual seizure until like 2 years later.
Yeah.
So I wasn't looking after myself in the way that I am now. So I actually went, my friend invited us into her work, and she works in a contact, like a call center, like a big business. And I went in and I did, it was Mental Health Awareness Week, and I did a sound bath, Reiki healing, and one-to-one treatments. And it was lovely actually going back into a lovely
Mm.
big corporate business. And it was the feel was just lovely. But I know how stressful it is.
Yeah.
And when I've seen this, the amount of staff that come in, it was so felt so grateful. And when they were coming round after the meditation or the sound bath or whatever they came in for at the time, whichever session, and just to see the relaxation on their face, yes, they've got to go back to work, but to take that time out felt, yeah,
Yeah.
this is what I need to be doing. And the same with me individual clients, when you see them floating out and when they've had their appointment and they've got their little things that they're going to work on, or if there's
Mm-hmm.
anything that they need to work on, and then they come back the following month and like, it works, Amanda, I'm doing really well, I feel so
Yeah.
much better. It's just, I feel so, so grateful. And to know that I'm doing that within my own local little community, is just priceless.
So obviously we talked like a bit about like Reiki and obviously how it's helped
Mhm.
you. And obviously you've even shared, yeah, like the clients' experiences, which I think is really good. So you've mentioned there your sound baths that you do as well, which is probably something else that people go, What? Like your son thought you were going for a bath when you told him you were going
Yeah,
for a sound
with
bath.
music on. No, I'm definitely not going for a bath. No, it's healing through sound waves, which is reason for it to be called a sound bath. And I started going to them after we were allowed to mix back in with the community
Mhm.
after lockdown, which was not a very nice time. Um however, it was just amazing. Like when I first started going to sound baths and I thought, these are really helpful. If anything, I felt like I got more from them because not only are you receiving Reiki, because it was a friend that was holding the sound bath. She's Reiki qualified and a sound healer as well. So what that meant is you were getting Reiki and sound healing at the same time. So it's like a double whammy sort of thing,
Mm.
if that makes sense. So I would either go and there'll be crystal balls, which are linked to your chakras to help with your different chakras, which sometimes can be blocked and stop you from doing things in certain situations. Or she would play the gong, which is amazing. Um, and it's basically like sensory, like relaxation, but then the healing frequency helps you. Obviously, because of my condition, because I did get diagnosed with epilepsy, and obviously I still have it, even though I'm seizure free, I've still got it.
Mhm.
I had to double check I'd be okay to go because depending on people's triggers, a sound bath may not be the best thing for you. But my triggers are lack of sleep, stress, um, and if I'm worried or nervous and things like that. So they're my triggers, and thankfully I know what they are. And going to a sound bath was just amazing. And then obviously once I got my Reiki qualification and I was getting a bit, I was like, I need to learn this as well.
Mhm.
So I hold so I've also got a drum. So like you go through on drumming journeys, which is quite magical. So I hold um group sound healing sessions on a Sunday at the salon that I rent the room from once a month on a Sunday, and it's 1 hour and it's £10, and I try and mix it up a little bit so it's not the same every month. And sometimes I hold larger sound healing down the coast, and I've got one in planned in July. So that'll be really exciting. And you can also receive sound healing individually. And I never thought I would ever say to someone, do you want a drum massage? Do you want a drum shower? And you think, oh my God, these are words I never thought would come out of my mouth. But actually, if you're lying on the bed and you're in stillness and the vibration from playing the drum is hovering over your body and going into your body, it is really magical. The same when it's in a group or in a one-to-one situation. There's different healing frequencies that you can use. And sometimes I just use my voice. I wish it was for singing, but it's not because I can't sing. But it's more for a guided meditation to help you through different situations. In certain times of the year, you might want to do a different type of meditation depending on the season, or um, you might want to do like something on self-love, um, or you might do one change or releasing. And it's really strange that if you hold a group sound healing session and you've got people coming that you've never met, it's very it's obviously the universe's alignment, but most people are there for the same reason, but they've never met, they don't know each other, and it's just a lovely, safe space. And mine are always, I've only held women's sound healing circles at the moment, but to know that you can come by yourself and be in a safe space and share if you want, you don't have to share, and listen to healing music, rest and relax, and see other people on different journeys or just a journey in their life, a new chapter, and just know that you're not alone, is invaluable. It's amazing. Um, and that's when people sometimes think, oh, I might come for an individual sound healing because I might need a little bit longer and more focus on myself. Um, but yeah, they are pretty magical. And the one we've got planned in July, I'm hoping that we've got some dry weather because we might go for a little plunge at the end of the session and go
Oh,
into the sea. But everyone have to bring their own little life aid and things like that, their float. But yeah, so it's just there's many of my clients of either new in the area or new mums, or maybe on a different journey that their friends and family don't really understand. And just to know that you're not the only person and you get to come and share your thoughts and feelings if you wish,
hmm
and receive healing and listen to lovely healing tones. It just makes me feel so happy that I'm able to share my gifts with people that need it. And when I needed it the most, I received it. So
Yeah.
it's just nice to give back. It really is.
And congratulations as well, obviously, with you like leaving your job now, and it's like 100%
Oh,
in now, isn't
I
it?
know. That's it. I'm all in now, all in.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever been as happy.
yeah, I
Like,
love it.
I've obviously been happy, don't get
hmm
us wrong, but it's a different happy. It's like it's something that I know that I'm passionate about and that I love. And like my friends and family have like fully supported us. Like
hmm
I'm really, really lucky in a
Yeah.
way. I'm so, so lucky. So now I'm just doing what I can
hmm
to let people understand that it's nothing scary. It's you get
It's
from
not
it what
weird.
you put in. Yeah, it's you get from it what you put in. You
Mhm.
can't just come to a Reiki session and then come back in 4 weeks and expect to be healed. It takes a lot of power and work from within as well.
Mhm.
And it isn't easy. I've got clients that have been coming to me for over a year now, and the difference between then and now is magical. And it's not really down to me. It's the hard work that they've put in and the time out that they've given to come for their Reiki healing, and the time out that they've took for for their own self-care. And it really just it reinforces to me that it's the right thing for me to do.
Mhm.
Um, because at the time when I needed it, I couldn't go anywhere. So to receive it online was the only option that I had, and it worked. It was great.
Mhm.
So if there is people that are unable to get out and about, if there's still ways that you can receive healing and receive guided meditations, because of we've got the wonder of the internet. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And Zoom app and things like that. So in other ones, so
Mhm.
it's good that no matter where you are or who you are, you can get the right self-care that you need
Yeah.
by finding somebody in your area or someone that you connect with, because there's so many different practitioners out there, and everyone will connect with different practitioners in different ways. Whichever one they connect with, that's the one that they go to. And that's great because we're all different, and it just whichever one works best for you. Do you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Um, but yeah, it's been a very hard, difficult, and it still is. It's only going to get harder now. I'm obviously self-employed
It's
all by
not going to
myself
get
now.
harder. You're going to come up with
It'll
new
be more
challenges, but you're going to
challenging.
grow super quick.
It will be more challenging, but it will be the most
More
rewarding.
rewarding, 100%.
Yes.
So, and then I love anything like holistic now. And I think for me, obviously trying to kind of reach people to empower them to like look inwards and take responsibility for their life and make better choices and do the self-care stuff. I think this area, this spiritual area, is definitely something that is lacking, isn't it? In a lot of places, like people will go for like a normal massage, or they'll go like try to think for like talking therapies, but not many people
Yes.
will go for a sound bath or for Reiki. So it's actually
Yes.
like nice to like meet someone obviously who does it, and obviously you're not too
Yeah.
like from where I am, so the people that are
Yeah.
probably going to be listening, it'll probably be quite close to you as well. Um,
Yeah.
so it's like just not urging people. That's the wrong word. Like what's a better word? Making people aware if like
It
this
is. It's
therapy.
literally just raising awareness. And if you are a person that goes for a monthly massage, that's brilliant because you're still invested in your own
Mhm.
self-care. And that's absolutely fabulous. But if you've never heard of Reiki before, or you think, oh, this sounds a little bit interesting, there is no harm in giving it a go. And it's not for everyone. It's really not, because everyone's got their own thing that they love.
Mhm.
Some people they have to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Some people have to do yoga, or like some people have to go for nice walks, and that's their self-care, and that's absolutely brilliant. Me personally, I like a little bit of it all because it just depends on how I'm feeling and what I get out of it the most. I love going for walks, go to the gym when I can. Um, and obviously I do my self-care with me meditation and me Reiki. And it's just what works best for you when you need it the most.
Yeah.
And if you don't invest in what you need the most, then your body will tell you when when you can't, when you really, really need it. So it's best to to care and self-care for yourself as much as you possibly can before you get into a situation like I did where I
Yeah.
couldn't, I had no choice but, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. So if
Before you're
anyone,
pushed.
yeah, so I've got an open day at Sublime Health and Aesthetics on Monday the 15th of July. I think it's from 2 till 7. Just for anyone just to come in and have a wander,
Mhm.
ask us questions.
Write it
Um,
down so don't forget and share it.
yeah, I'm sure it's Monday the 15th of July. I'll double check. Um, Yeah, so it's Monday the 15th of July, and it's just an open day. You can come in and have a free cup of tea or cup of coffee, ask us any questions. I'll have all the sound healing equipment out, raffle tickets to win a free treatment, and mini Indian head massages if
Oh,
anyone fancies one.
I'm coming.
Um, no, you're more than welcome.
I might.
And
I'll check my diary. What time did you say it
I
was,
just,
sorry,
it's
Amanda?
from 2 till 7. 'Cause I
2 or 7.
thought I would get anyone before the school run and
Yeah.
anyone after work
Mhm.
as well. And I just think people can just come and ask us questions because you don't know unless you ask.
Yeah. And I suppose that's
You know
quite
what I
nice that
mean?
you're doing this because people who are thinking, oh, Reiki, like, and then don't really know what it is. People don't want to invest in what they don't understand. They
Yeah.
don't want to go
No,
and pay
and
for
that's
it.
totally true.
So
And
having that is good.
years ago, if I seen me doing what I'm doing now, I'd be like, oh, what you doing? Why, why? Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But like when I was at me at the business at the corporate event on Mental Health Awareness Week, and I was walking up and down the room, and while everyone's lying on a yoga mat, just absolutely chilling for that moment, and I'm with me drum, like going with the beat and going up and down the room, and people were looking in the room. Years ago, I'd be embarrassed. I would feel embarrassed that I was actually doing that, and I just thought, or they're just curious. If they can come into the next one if they want. If it's not their cup of tea, then that's absolutely fine. But I was just loving that I was able to share what I love with people that wanted to try and have some rest time within work, because
Mhm.
it is really stressful when you're at work, and it's catching those times where you're allowed to have that time off the phones if you're in a contact center, just to have some self-care
Mhm.
and maybe have a little relaxation and a meditation.
Yeah.
But I would have probably been really embarrassed to do that years ago, but not now, because I know how important it is. Um, and it just really, really makes us happy. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, oh, I love it. So, well, what I'm going to do is I'll put all of your events coming up. I'll put it
Yeah,
in the description, um,
thank you.
with all your links as well, and then
Yes.
I'll share it on my social media, especially your up and coming events.
Yes.
Because I know a few of them you've said are fully booked, but I know there's the odd one's got like a space, so we'll get it cheap
Yeah.
so people can
And
like.
then if anyone is interested in, like, they can go on a waiting list for the next one.
Mhm,
Um, because I try and run them like either normally every other month.
mhm,
But it's just July's quite a busy month for me. And then so I'll probably start again in September with
mhm.
some of the other events, like the group events. But yeah, no, I'll share all of that.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
Oh, that's amazing. Eva, thank you so much for this random, because we're like, I had it scheduled, then we we're going to do it, and then we're like,
I
yes,
know.
let's just do it. So thank
Yeah.
you so much, Amanda. Um,
Oh,
and yeah, I'll be putting everything in the description. So if anybody wants to reach out to Amanda, they can do. And as you can see, she's so lovely, and you can just ask her questions and head along Monday, the 15th of July to Sublime. I'll put the address in anyway.
yeah,
2 to 7 for
definitely.
some free I'm coming for the free tea. Just kidding.
Free tea, coffee, and
Free
healthy
tea, coffee,
snacks.
healthy
And
snack.
if you buy
No,
5 raffle tickets, you get a free mini Indian head massage.
sounds good.
I know, but it's just encouraging people to come and just ask questions, because
Yes.
if you don't ask, you don't know. And if you think
Exactly.
it's a little bit strange or a little bit weird, you won't know
Mhm.
until you ask the questions or give it a go
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
That's the way that I'm looking at it. Yeah.
No,
And still do.
that's brilliant. Thank you. I'm gonna press stop.